Welcome to the Living Word Podcast. I am your host, Genevieve, and these episodes serve as a reminder to how essential your fullest expression is on this planet during one of the most transformative times in our history. Together, we are going to explore truth through vulnerable conversations about life's deeper meaning, exploring holistic wellness, mindset, spirituality, entrepreneurship, love, and everything in between. Let's dive in, shall we? Welcome back to the Living Word. I feel so grateful to be here with a beautiful sister of mine today. And I just want to continue thanking everyone for just your commitment to these conversations, for sharing your feedback, your stories, for allowing the collective to become more vulnerable just by sharing the truth about who we are as women. And today is a very special guest for episode 9. And I had the opportunity to meet you about a year and a half ago. And I remember the moment that we sat down at the table at a luncheon we were at a conference, and I could just feel the magnitude of kindness, of love, of joy that just resonated from you. And then I found out that you were a very luxurious fashion designer. And I was like, wow, this really breaks down the barriers of what I assumed to be the fashion world. I had never expected to meet someone that was so kind, so humble, and so talented to be in this realm. And so I'm so grateful for you to be sharing that story today, and also to just give wings to any woman out there or any man listening who maybe has a dream on their heart, but they don't think that it's possible for them, because you have truly shown that there is no mountain high enough to climb. Yet before we get into that and get into the fashion and who you've become, let's go back to the beginning. And would you be open to introducing yourself to everyone listening to the Living Word and go back to that inception moment that really you remember has formed you as a person?
What an introduction. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for having me here today. You were describing how we met, and I remember vividly like how I did met you. I met you at a boot camp in a bathroom. Right. And you came to me, and I remember when you left after a brief conversation thinking, is it possible to be that genuine? Like as genuine as she is beautiful. Like I had never seen an aura like you. And it stuck to me, and we had the opportunity to have lunch afterwards, and I've been wanting to have you and Hayden here at our house for so long, and it happened in God's plan, of course, but you're here today at my home here in Cumberland, Canada. So thank you for being here, and thank you for having me. You are the highlight of the person that I have met that has touched me the most, I would say, in the past 2 years. So you are changing the world in my eyes, and you are a gift, and I feel very grateful that you are in my world. So that being said, my name is Jessica Bedard, and I grew up in a very simple childhood. What's the word? It's humble life as I grew up in my family. It was all about security. And if you had a dream, it was okay, but it was when you go to bed. It was for bigger people, educated people. You know, if you worked for the government in my family, you had success because you had insurance and you had a pension. And this is what I was taught that I should do. But I didn't like school. And so I struggled, and I did many things until one day I met my husband, Eric Bedard. He was a Major League Baseball player, and I followed him in his career, a career where no one believed that would happen when he was a child. But through the comments of you're not big enough, you're not tall enough, you're not strong enough, it gave him so much drive, and he happened to succeed and a really big dream that he has. So seeing that was a really beautiful reminder that dreams are possible. But then Eric retired in 2015. And he told me, he said, Jessica, you followed into my dream. So now it's your turn. What would be your dream? So what an incredible moment. So at the age of 35, I was able to go back to school to achieve my dream, which was I wanted to have a shoe line. So I went back to school to Italy in Milan, and I graduated in 2015 in the footwear. And now I produce beautiful Italian luxury shoes for women. And my dream was to not only design and produce beautiful shoes, but I wanted to create shoes that women can actually stand and walk for hours. Because if you think about it, most of designers for footwear are men.
Right.
So if you think of big brands, and I'm not going to name them, but they are men and they have never stepped in a heel. So I wanted to really pay attention of the height of the heel and the materials and the type of leather I would use so it feels like butter. And, you know, so I created this beautiful line of shoes called Maison Bédard, which I'm very, very proud of. What a beautiful dream. But I will be honest with you, when the world went on pause, and like you like to say, we went through a rebirth, I got caught in a lot of fear because I thought I would lose this beautiful dream. I went to study, I found a factory, a team in Italy. I had hundreds and hundreds of pair of shoes, and yet everyone was locked up inside. No one was buying shoes.
Wow.
And I was stuck with this, and I was in a lot of fear because I thought, oh my goodness, am I going to lose? Is it going to slip through my finger? No, it's impossible. One thing I have is I have a lot of drive. And when I believe in something, I see very, very big. So I had to find a way to go through this, to take the pain and grow from this. So it brought me to do a research and find really, really good coach in business, where I went to learn how to brand myself and how to promote myself and learn a bit more about marketing and the importance of consistency. And it also brought me on a very special route, I would say, of healing. Because I was caught in so much fear that my body was getting very sick. I didn't feel good. And I got menopause during that time at 42 years old. I didn't really have anyone to talk about this. So I hired a really good coach, and she helped me to take charge of my health, and not only physically, but really, truly from the inside. And when I look at myself 2 years ago from today, I don't even see the same person. This is how powerful it is. And from healing, there's so many dimensions that open in my brain. And I have an amazing coach, Vanessa Gretman, that was able to see through me and see with such beautiful eyes and heart. And she helped me to grow and reinvent myself. And one of the things that she saw in me is, she said, Jessica, you have styling in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said that, I started to laugh because I remember thinking, well, everyone knows how to dress, you know, it's not a thing. Everyone knows how to dress. I would not be hired by anyone with this. It's impossible. And she started to laugh, and she was rebranding at that time. So she hired me, and I dressed her to reflect the brand that she was. And she just starting to have such a beautiful image. And then people went through her, and she recommended me. And then fast forward a whole year, because it's going to be a year.
Wow.
And I have never been this busy in my life. styling is truly a sixth sense for me. I say this with, and I'm so humble when I say this, but it truly is. I remember being a child, and it would be my birthday or Christmas, and people would ask me, "What do you want for your birthday?" And I would say, "I want shoes." And people would say in my family, no, it's your birthday. What would you like for your birthday? I never played with toys. All I wanted was shoes and clothes, and all my pictures, birthday pictures from my childhood, it's me doing a little fashion show with the clothes, you know.
Wow.
So it's like, so my memory as a child, I also remember my parents would bring me everywhere at their friends for a night out. They would find the closet with the shoes. They would put me there and I'd be good for the whole night. I actually didn't want to leave. And we would also go at the cottage, and my mom would just bring the Sears magazine. And I would sit there and I would circle my husband and my kids, and I would dress them for this season. And it's like, that was my favorite activity, you know? So it's pretty interesting that I couldn't see that for myself in the years where I started my career. This is what I should have done my whole life, but God has a plan. And I think things arrive at the right time, you know, for you. But I have created an amazing experience. I have 3 services. I have a virtual styling, a one-on-one styling, and a branding styling. So there's 4 steps to all of my services. The first one is, first we do an interview to see if we are the right fit. And then we go through your closet, either virtually or one-on-one, and I help women to remove everything that does not serve them anymore.
Which is very difficult for a lot of people.
Why? It is, because over the years we accumulate and we get attached to pieces, and then it becomes cluttered and we can't see what we have. And so I help them to remove pieces that either don't feel good on their body anymore, in terms of shape, in terms of size, in terms of material. So we do that, and then all of a sudden it's like the brain starts breathing better, right? So we do that, and then our second step is we do a one-on-one shopping. The one-on-one shopping, I do a pre-shopping, and I put all of the clothes that I choose for them, and I create styles that I put on rack in our reserve room in different stores. And so when they arrive, everything is prepared for them, and they just need to sip on their little drink, mocktail, water that I prepare for them, and they try on the clothes, and it's just such a beautiful experience because they don't have to be drained by choosing and trying to put things together and think about what are the trends. You know, I do all of this for them. And then afterwards, we schedule a meeting either at their house or virtually, and I create outfits. So I will take this outfit and I will show them how to create 8 different style with one piece.
Wow.
So this is really incredible. And with that, I have a photographer who will take pictures of all of the outfit, and we do a lookbook. So she has a reference. So if she's going on a trip, now she has option. If she's going on a date, now she has option. So it's just a really beautiful, unique experience that make women feel good again. Most of the women I work with are mothers, businesswomen that gave a lot of their time and of their heart for so many years. And they're just at that phase usually where it's like, it's time for me again. It's time for me. But when I get in front of my closet, I see a lot of pieces, but it becomes very blurry because there's so much and it's so cluttered that I don't know where to start. And sometimes I don't even know what my style is. So I help them to extract their personality and reflect that through their style. Because often I hear, yeah, but clothes, it's just clothes. Like, you're not saving life here. I think otherwise.
Yes, baby.
Because you can see a piece of clothes as a piece of clothes. But I'll give you an example. If you get up in the morning and you stay in your PJ all day, your energy is so different than if you dress and you feel good and you put that piece of jewelry that makes you feel like a queen. So you resonate differently. And because you resonate differently, you attract differently. And it's such a beautiful thing. I was just yesterday with a precious client that I was introduced by another client, because this is a thing. You know? It's like the word goes around, and this is how I built my beautiful reputation. But I was with this woman at Holt Renfrew, a nice department store here in Canada, and to tell you the amount of joy that I feel when I see my client coming out of the dressing room, get in front of the mirror, and be almost emotional of the feeling that it's giving her. To see herself looking good with materials that feels good on the skin, and fabric that falls right at the right place, colors she would have never in her life choose for herself. And this is where I come in and I create magic. And it's just an incredible feeling to help women to feel good again. This other day I had a client that told me, Jessica, I want to share something with you. Do you know that I just canceled my therapist? And I said, you cancel your therapist? And she said, yes, because I had something going on for many years where I don't feel confident. And I'm seeing someone because it's helping me to show up in this world and like feel better about myself. But I didn't know that all I needed was to feel good in my clothes. Now, when my husband asked me to go on a date, it's a big yes.
Wow.
Which before, I didn't feel like it. I would say, no, let's just stay home because I don't know what to wear and I don't feel good. So the fact that now I have a reference, I have a lookbook, I've shopped with you, I know how to wear my clothes, I have so many options. Now you ask me to go on a date and it's like, I feel like it because I know that I'm going to feel good. And it takes me 30 minutes instead of 2 hours. And I have a big smile on my face and I'm in a good place when we leave. So the date and the energy is just amazing. So
wow.
I was so impressed with that comment, and it made me feel so blessed to hear that when I say I'm helping women and I'm saving life, I am. I truly think that I am, because
you are.
It's just really beautiful to notice all of that change.
Well, and what I'm just so blown away by the expansion of what you've been doing, because you said it at the beginning, you extract the essence and you're able to create an image. And I think you agree with this, that we live in a society where we're told that caring about how we look on the outside is very superficial. It's very fake. It creates a persona that isn't humble. And when I've met you, and you are the living representation of the opposite. And one of the things that's very interesting that you said is you had this beautiful luxury brand of shoes, which I will share how much I love them in a moment. And then you went through this whole rebirth. So you went through a rebirth to extract your essence so that you could shine a bigger light and invite other women in to do the same. And I think that is saving lives. And I know that because when I moved to Mexico, I got rid of everything I owned. Every bag, every shoe, everything. And when I got there, I decided that I was going to reinvent myself. And I started choosing different fabrics, different colors. And even now, like, I look to your page on Instagram for inspiration, because I'm like, I want to create the avatar of who I want to be in the world. And I've seen the women that you've created this for. And I've witnessed the before and after of how they show up. And the energy is electric. And so if we can extract an essence of who we are on the inside, and we're good people with a big mission, and now we create the avatar on the outside, it does change the world.
Telma.
And that's what you're doing every day. And, you know, you say the frequency of fabrics and the frequency of clothing. Like, can you expand on that? Because I'm sure so many people right now are like, thank you for giving me permission to reinvent myself as many times as it takes for me to be like, I am here.
Right. And you know what? Thank you for that. You just said, when I went to Mexico, I threw out everything and I wanted to reinvent myself. And I see it as you became so clear on who Jen is that you didn't need all of the superflu that you had. The superficial that you had. You went to Mexico, you started probably, or not started, but like continue to heal, and you were on this journey and you just realized that it's not in the quantity, but more in the quality.
Absolutely.
And I so agree with that. And to come back to your question of the vibration of material. Oof. I want to do a whole podcast just on that, okay?
I'm claiming it on this one because it's big.
I mean, we are energy. We are vibration. And the clothes that we put on our body, and of course we can't follow that rule at all time, but the more you go with nice fabric like organic cotton, linen, wool, those are fabrics that vibrate at a very high level. And so when you put it on the skin, it makes you feel very alive.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then let's go on the other side. If we talk about polyester, for example, it vibrates so low that it's almost the vibration or the frequency of a dead body.
Wow.
So when you put it on your skin, your vibration are not the same. So we can go back to a conversation of vibration one day, and I want to be accurate on my numbers, so I don't want to do numbers, but
absolutely,
it's incredible how good fabric will make you vibrate in a very high frequency compared to dead fabric.
Dead fabric.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And even with your shoes, I bought my first pair of Maison Bédard shoes. And just one thing I have to say, I'm so proud of you because you're the only luxury shoe brand from Canada.
I know, it's special.
Isn't that special?
Thank
and
you.
Everything, you go to Milan and you handpick the materials, you handpick the colors. I've watched your journeys. And when I put my foot into my first pair of your shoes, it was two things. It felt luxurious and comfortable. And those two don't usually go hand in hand.
True.
So that's how I knew that this was something special and unique, the quality, the finishes. Yet, I also look at you and you are someone, and again, story for another day, but you are very conscious of how you treat your temple, your vessel, and your heart, your spirit. And so when you went through your healing journey and you released the old stories, the old cellular remembrance of areas that were holding you back, of stories that other people imposed on you, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that you may be 35 or 36 or 45 or 50 and you have a dream on your heart and you've been told that it's not possible and just went back to school at 35 to be a fashion designer. So let's look at that for a moment, because it takes a certain level of healing to come back to the remembrance of the little girl looking at the Sears catalogs and dressing her family. And by releasing all of this dead weight and dead essence, you've brought this whole new, I believe, a whole new era of Jessica Bedard and Maison Bédard. And that is why when someone walks into a room with you, they feel the energy before they even put on the clothes. And I want to thank you for being brave enough and bold enough to do that, because we cannot serve from a tainted cup. We cannot serve from an empty cup. And I believe that you are giving women permission to show up and take up space, to be bold and to be beautiful. And in order for you to give them permission, you had to do it for you first.
Oh, it's true. It's true. And I will say that this is a constant journey. I feel healing is a journey. It's never completely healed. You know, like I feel every day I force myself to have this routine in the morning that I know will set me up
Right.
mentally in a good space to serve with my heart and not just with my head. And when I hear someone say, I don't know what's my purpose. I don't know. And I love to help women to figure it out, because once you have openness and you do figure it out, it's an incredible life. It's an incredible life. And I like to tell them, go back to your childhood. There was something you were doing in your childhood that is a message. Because before you were broken or damaged or whatever, because we all go through things, there was this little girl that didn't have any wounds, and she was doing something. Go back there. And if I would have known that, I would have known at the age of 16 what I was supposed to do. But I'm also grateful that it took all of the pain to bring me where I am, because I'm able to serve with so much purpose. So much purpose.
And conviction. And one of the things I'll leave here before, and obviously if you want to, first of all, go follow Maison Bédard on Instagram, because you will be inspired. You give so much value for free. You're always updating people's mindsets about their wardrobe. And for someone like me, where I'm like, I don't even know what's trendy anymore. I live in this modern day hippie bubble. So I go there for inspiration, and I will show you guys. You'll see on my Instagram the new pieces I've acquired from Maison Bédard. Side note, I came into your showroom and I walked in and felt expansive, and everything I touched was an organic or a natural material that's been purposely selected for the item. And then I just go to your page and I just see you sharing everything authentically. And so number one, go follow Maison Bédard.
Thank you.
Number two, if you are someone who is in a new era of your life and you really want the essence of who you are, the power of the divine feminine that you are, to be extracted and exposed to the world, call Jess and set up a consultation to see what that looks like, because it is life-changing. And number three, we all know that everything we do is a full spectrum. It cannot just be organic materials on the body and then treat the inside of our body differently. And so I want to thank you for being a full wheel of wellness. And I love that you help women feel good on the inside, reflected on the outside, and also you and your husband have been the pioneers of biohacking, and we'll get into that on another episode.
Yes.
But go find her to see a real life example. And if someone is out there who doesn't believe that there is time left for their dreams, I hope you take this episode and run with it. And if there was one thing that you could tell any woman out there right now who's maybe just in a space of stagnance or unsure about themselves, what would it be?
Such a good question. I think what comes to mind for me is serve with love, serve with passion. Because the day I understood that and I stopped serving for money, but really, truly to serve people with a purpose, everything started flowing towards me. So it is never too late. I am 46 and I would have started that journey at 65 if I would have had to, because it feels better than it ever did in my life to serve like this. So this is what I would say.
Abundance. That is true abundance. You are a gift.
Thank you. And you are too.
Thank you.
Gift attract
mirrors, baby. Is there anything upcoming that you want people to look for in the show notes, or is it just going to be to book a consultation and to follow you on this beautiful journey?
Yes, my Instagram, Maison Bédard, Facebook as well. And I do a lot of stories with book your free discovery call. We get on a call and we see if we are the right fit. Don't be afraid. It's some people think, oh my God, I'm going to need so much. No, it's more in the quality rather than the quantity. It's a very beautiful journey and you are worth it. You are worth it. So I welcome everyone, yes, too. And on my website, maisonbedard.com is a good one as well. Yeah.
It's beautiful. You're worth it. And also, you are in great hands to feel comfortable and safe. And so I thank you for just representing the world of beauty and fashion in a way that the world needs, and also for younger generations to grow up with role models that are authentic. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. You are a gift. Thank you for having me. I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much for joining me on the Living Word podcast today. My hope is that you have something new or a remembrance that you can apply in your life right now. Isn't that the whole point of us learning and growing? To take new understandings and alchemize them through our own human experience? Please like and leave a comment or review if you enjoyed this episode, and share it with people in your life who would benefit from hearing it also. And make sure you subscribe to the Living Word podcast on your favorite platform and be the first to know about upcoming episodes. Sending so much love and gratitude to be on this journey together. See you soon.